Well, hey, I'm Sam Famous, and it's about time to start our 4-hour shift as a pilot today. Yep, we got 4 hours of beautiful flight time ahead of us here. We're going to be flying back and forth round trips to Rocky Point, Mexico from the Stellar Airport just outside of Phoenix, Arizona. Should be a fun time. Like I said, we got a 4-hour shift here that we can do some flying in. So we're gonna see how many round trips we can get in. We have no passengers heading down this one, but we will be picking up passengers to bring back to the Stellar Airport from Mexico. That being said, let's go ahead and get over in here to the plane. Hop on in here. Go ahead and get these guys off here. Boom. Boom. Looks good. Door is locked and secure. That's good. Bring this guy to life. Alright, let everything wake up. Okay, that's all good. Toss system test, okay. Let's put it in a run mode. Fire no. Parking brake check cleared. Everything's in the green. Looking good. Takeoff pitch set. The beautiful wifey is saying hellos. What's happening, beautiful wifey? Helen says, woof, woof. That's right. We are a pet-friendly outfit here on board. We got 4 dogs, Max, Sarah, Tucker, and we call her Tongue because she's always thinking everything. The beautiful wifey, July 3rd. As for now, it looks like I'm confirmed to play with the guy from the Voice. Aaron Nichols, I believe his name is. Just got some messages back about that. All right, looking good. Should be about 30,000 people there, they said. So it should be a fun concert. All right, we're going to head down to Mexico today. I'm headed down to Rocky Point doing round trips. We have no passengers on board. We will pick up 1 or 2 when we're down there to bring them back. All right, plane's looking good. Everything is set there. Let's go ahead and get our altitude selected. We're going to be cruising down to Mexico at 10,000 feet today. And once again, I'm your captain, Sam Favis. I'm not really a captain. I'm not a pilot. I'm a guitar player, but I pretend. Okay, set that about 2,000 feet. We're here at Stellar Airpark here in right outside of Phoenix, Arizona. It is a bright, beautiful day. It is hot. Alright, our heading is set. Looking good. Let's go full screen on that guy. We get traffic map off. Looking good. Let's get some air conditioner on. It is hot. Oh, zoomed out, didn't want to. All right. All right, that being said, we're ready to get out of here. All right, all right. To go to the outside. $3 million jet. And I get to fly. I love it. So a charter service, I'm thinking this flight would cost, it's about anywhere from what I looked up on Google, it's between about $1,700 to $5,000 per hour to charter one of these flights. So let's see how much this day is going to cost. All right. We're ready to roll out of here. If you've just joined the stream, I'm Sim Famous, and we're headed down to Rocky Point, Mexico. Round trips today from Jet-Steller Airpark here in outside of Phoenix, Arizona, down to Rocky Point, Mexico. We have been cleared for takeoff. Let's go ahead and get our landing lights. Helen says, Sim, what are you drinking? I have grapefruit sparkling water. Helen says, how's the doggies? Oh, they're doing good. They're just hanging out. All right, let's get a flap set. Flaps are set. We are rolling. I'm going to taxi down to the end of the runway here. Take it nice and slow. We're getting paid by the hour here. It's about $2,000 an hour to charter this flight. So we're glad to have you on board here today. $2,000 an hour, we figure that's a pretty good deal here at Sim Famous Air. Keep you on the budget side. Got the AC cooling off the plane, looking good. It should be about a 30-minute or less flight down to Rocky Point. And we're gonna get down there, get landed, pulled in, pick up a couple passengers, come back up here, just keep doing that for a little while here. We got at least a 4-hour shift, and we're just getting started. We'll take the outside, see the plane. It's our beautiful Vision Jet, the AZ602. And there we are. We're a pilot. We got black shirt, black shorts on. I think we got like some black tennis shoes that sort of match our plane. Oh, we're all decked out. You'll see when we get down into the old Rocky Point there. All right. Make sure I don't see any traffic coming. I believe we're A-okay. Get you back to the inside. do have live weather on and multiplayer on. We have been cleared for takeoff. Set back. Enjoy the flight down to Rocky Point, Mexico. Mike says, Vision Jet better now. So far since the other day, the last time I did a test with it, seems to be better. Glad to see you there, Mr. Mike. We just got out on the runway. We've been cleared to take off, head to Rocky Point, Mexico. Power up. Let's get out of here. Let's go. Let's go pick up a couple passengers. Charter service, $2,000 an hour on the clock. $50 knots. Leaving out of Stellar Airpark. Oh, we're up. Whoa, got a little sideways with us there. Positive rate gear coming up. A little heavy, full of the fuel. Flaps coming up. Let's make the turn. Next stop, Rocky Point, Mexico. Boy, look at those trees down there. See you later, Arizona. Autopilot is set. Let's get you here for the climb out. Man, beautiful day. It's good to be at work. Woo! And when I say it's good to be at work, I'm pretending that this is my job in real life, and this is my 4-hour shift, even though I'm simulating it, and it's not my real job. Of course, I'm simulated as a pilot who is not really a pilot. I ain't got no license, man. Wow, let's go to the outside. Let's see this departure. Oh, 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 look at that. We are in the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 1.7.11 beta as well. Heck yeah. Helen says, any snacks? We have sparkling waters on board, and we might have some trail mix. I gotta check. Alright, let's get you to the inside. Okay, everything's looking good. Let's go to climb power. Climb power set. Man, this simulator is looking fantastic. I love flying out of the Phoenix area because that's the area I live at in real life. So it's kind of cool to have live weather and fly out of a place that you're at. Wow, look at that view. Is that the White Tanks Mountains over there? I'm not really sure. We're headed up to 10,000 feet today. That's going to be our cruising altitude over to Mexico. Helen says it's hot. What was the temperature currently right now? What is it? What do we got? $97 degrees. Helen says it's brown everywhere. It is. It's the desert. It's hot. We're headed down right there next to the ocean, so we'll go check that out. All right, there's 10,000 feet. That's our cruising altitude. Let's get our lights off. Get my heading set. Looking good. Helen says 100. All right, chat, we are cruising. And we are on our way to Rocky Point. Like I said, we have no passengers on board right now. We have it set up for executive seating, so we'll be able to take 2, possibly 3 people. But I think we're just picking up 1 on this trip down, and then picking up 2 for the trip back. Take it to the outside. Vision jet. All right, next stop, Mexico. We should have you there about 27 minutes or so, give or take. Let's go back to the passenger seat here. Is that, no, there it is. Boom. I might pass, yeah, right here. Boom, passenger seat. Helen says Rocky Point. Yep, headed to Rocky Point. I do. The guy that didn't think since he didn't think I could speak. Well, he knew that I could speak Spanish, so he didn't know that you could. Like, where's my hotel room? He finally told us. All right, let's get you back to the cockpit here. The old Vision jet. Alright, where's my water? There it is. Let me get the armrest down and we're ready to set back. Relax till we get there. I picked the black plane with, and I dressed in all black, sort of like the Uber black car service, you know, but a little bit more relaxed. You know, we can wear flip-flops or shoes. You can kind of hang out. Kevin says that person was shocked. I know, right? The beautiful wifey saves the day. flying to Mexico. It's a very peaceful flight. I don't think I've been out here in 2026 yet. So what we're doing is sort of role-playing as if we had a Vision Jet charter service, and one of the routes we made was from Stellar Airpark to Rocky Point. So that's what we're working today. Helens has got to remove that ingrown toenail. Cut. I'll get a saw or something? What do you mean to do? I got a hammer. Alright, I'll get my hammer. See, it looks like we're about just over 20 minutes. Gonna be a bright day. Gonna be a bright day. Good thing we brought sunglasses. Mike says they got jackalopes in AZ. You know, I don't know. We have cantaloupes. He says we got cantaloupes. God, I'm so stupid. Oh, what's wrong with me? Why do I do this? That's why I'm not a pilot right there. It's there we go. He says we got cantaloupes. We got cantaloupes. Whoa, a little windy there. Now, what an interesting career this would be, to say that maybe you worked for a charter service and they had a G2 Plus Vision Jet in their fleet, and you were a pilot and that's what you did, you know. Maybe that was your daily gig. You flew from, you know, the Stellar Airpark area, Phoenix, whatever, all the way down to, you know, Rocky Point on a daily, or, you know, weekly or something. Not like any job, it would just become a job after a while, of course, but would be neat. If any of you guys that are watching this watch The Voice, I'm going to be playing guitar for, as of right now, I'm booked to play guitar. Things can change in the music business, but I'm booked to play guitar for one of the guys from The Voice, Aaron Nichols, that was on there, coming up July 3rd. Should be a fun thing. It's supposed to have 30,000 people at the show. We'll see how it goes. Mike says, jackrabbit, an antelope, scary creature, and then parts in Indiana. Oh, okay. Running into any creature that you don't expect is pretty scary. I was outside not yesterday, but a few days ago, and was walking down a little path in front of our apartment, turned around, I stepped right over top of a rattlesnake. Talk about saying hello. Whoa. That was quite an interesting day. Helen says, Sim, can't wait for Friday. Same. Date night, music night. Helen says snake. Yeah, I was telling him about the snake story. That was crazy. But today, I'm role-playing that this is my daily job. I'm a Vision 2 jet pilot. Sort of. Flies to Rocky Point back. Yep, we flying, man. We flying. Once you see the water, you know you're almost there. He said, once you see the water, you know you're almost there. We're currently about 15 minutes out or so. Rocky Point. Just relax in the old Vision jet. I like the view you have out this bird, you know what I mean? Plenty of window space. far so good. Bright, sunshiny day. Mike says you have turboprops that can go faster. Yeah, that's true. That is very true. I like the Vision Jet for the startup sounds and the ease of it, you know. And it's like you can say I got a jet. You know, I got a jet. I bought a jet. Sounds kind of fancy. I bought a jet. I mean, anybody that said, "Hey, I bought an airplane," that sounds pretty fancy to me. But I bought a jet. You know. He says, you know. Let's go ahead and get this set down to 1,000 feet. Mike Coffee said the same folks who bought you the planes with the built-in parachutes, right? That, you know, that's a neat feature. Speaking of that, and in this plane, in the simulator, this actually works. I think that's pretty neat. Let's see, we need to get this altitude just to where our runway is. And let's see, our vertical speed. This about 1,000. We'll start our descent down into Rocky Point. Get our lights on. Good. Alright, just like that, we're headed on into Rocky Point. Now what I'm going to do is I'll land, we'll find a place to park, and we'll shut it down. And then we're going to pretend, you know, it takes a little bit for the I think one passenger we're going to pretend to take back. We're picking up. Give them time to get, you know, in. We'll get that set up. We'll get the plane started back up. And we'll taxi out and head back. And then once we get back to Arizona, we'll repeat that process again. and head back down to Rocky Point, back and forth until we get 4 hours in the live stream today. So it should be fun to go back and forth. A little 4-hour gig here, you know, man. A little 4-hour gig. But as a pilot. Which should mean we should work through about sunset or so here in real life. And in the simulator. And we are beta testing for 4 hours. See how it goes. We're also testing an NVIDIA driver as well. Lots of testing going on. What a view in, huh? Man. What's the temperature at Rocky Point today in Mexico? Anybody know? Let's see if I can pull that up here. Let's see if you guys get it before I do. Let's see, Rocky Point weather. It looks like I'm getting around 82 degrees. Looks like it's about 82 degrees, and should have you on the ground here within 10 minutes or less. So they close about a 3:30 arrival here. We're gonna have you guys who are watching on the ground. We have no passengers with us. We're picking up one, taking them back, but yep, should be on the ground here shortly. Take the scenic flight in. Pull up some traffic maps and all that good stuff here. Let's see. Good. Fabulous. check, yeah. Check passenger cam. Looking good, headed in. Okay. See no traffic, everything looks pretty good. Yeah, all looks good, double checking. Alright, let's grab a drink. At 4,000 feet, headed down to no feet. He said, Helen says, be right back. See you later, kid. Alright, got the airport in sight. Next stop, Rocket Point. Okay, looking good there. We're gonna level off for their altitude. Bring our speed back. Make a little turn out here over the beach, head in. Go to the outside. all right. Pull our speed back. All right. Looking fabulous. Helen says, I'm back. Hey, welcome back. We're just about ready to make a turn here in a minute and head into the old airport. Pick up a passenger, head back up to Arizona. Go to the outside. Got all the resorts and stuff down here on the beach, which is pretty cool. There we go. I'm gonna go ahead and take control of the plane. Got all the big resorts down here right next to the ocean. I'll take you to the outside. Welcome down to Rocky Point, ladies and gentlemen. Got big hotels down towards the left. Make our turn over this resort area here. Old Rocky Point. Follow the water, make the turn. Looking good, looking good. Follow the water, make the turn.
$500.
500 check, landing. Full flap set, gear down, landing gears check. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome down to Rocky Point, Mexico. I'd like to thank you for flying Sim Famous Airport. We sometimes get you there. Even though there's no one on board with us, we still gotta go through the whole thing. But you guys are on board with us, right? And float it on down. Looking good, looking good. A little high, correcting. Alright, plenty of runway, we'll let it roll on out. Rocky Point. Take this exit right here. Clean up the flaps, turn it around. Da 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 da. It's pretty cool. Way out in the distance I can see the big, huge, towering hotels. We're going to pull over to the small building here. Pretend we're like, you know, just like I said, a small charter service, and we'll drop you off at the private area over here. Alright, we get our landing lights off. We're going to go over to this building right here. So we're going to go over here. We're going to pretend to drop off some luggage stuff or whatever. And then we're going to pick up one passenger that's headed back to Jet-Steller Airpark. That's charting the service. We're going to take you right over here. Small little building here is where they'll send out a car for you. That's where we pick up people at. Way out there is a hotel. pull up right up here. Front door service. That brakes. Alright, set the parking brake. Looking good. Now we're going to go ahead and prepare the plane for a quick shutdown. Which means we're going to leave battery and stuff on. We're going to shut this to off. We're going to leave the batteries hot. We're going to go back here. Hey, welcome down to Rocky Point. Fabulous. We'll go ahead and set up some chocks. Just make sure nothing rolls away for safety. Alright, and we'll go over here. We'll pretend that we're going to the office. Hey, how's it going, man? Here we go. Here's, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, the plane's out that way. Please make your way up. Take any seat you want there, but not mine, because I'm the pilot. So, let's pretend we're talking to the passenger that's coming with us. We're dropping off some paperwork. We're signing it. And also, we're going to hit the pilot's restroom, and we suggest you guys do the same while the plane is getting ready. And as soon as we're back, we'll get back in the plane and head back to Stellar Airpark. All right, we'll see you guys in just a few seconds. All right, all right. So what we're gonna do is now we're pretending we're taking one passenger back. All right. Fabulous. Oh, let me show you my outfit. Check us out. Black shirt, black shorts, black shoes, black plane. You know, got that Uber life. All right, let's get the chalks removed. And let's get this passenger back to Arizona. How you doing? Welcome aboard. Get this locked and secured. All right. How you doing? How you doing? I'm Sim Famous. Thanks for flying Sim Famous Air. Glad to have you aboard. All right. Man, hope this plane starts back after being sitting here so long. Put that to run. Light off. Got a good engine start. Adjust our takeoff pitch trim. All right, that's set. Fabulous. All right. Let's go back there. Let's go ahead and just program our flight back. We are going to head to Jet-Steller Airpark. Let's see, what is what's the airport code? T19. So that's not right. I promise I'm a pilot, don't be worried. He says he promises he's a pilot, don't be worried. Alright. We can do this. Why can't I find the airport? Just go backspace again. Oh boy. Let me check my paperwork. Let's see. Oh, got it. Got it. Got it. Hold on. Don't got it. I think I have it this time though. Dang it. Okay. Let's try this. How do I... How come I can't... I promise I'm a pilot. I'll get us back to Arizona. Why are you not programming? Maybe if I try this way. P19 Stellar Airpark. Why? Why can't I just make that work? Try resetting. E19. So departure is going to be Helen says I'm back. Hey, welcome back. All right. Let's set our altitude. We're going to get that set to 10,000 feet. I hate when I zoom in like that. I should have already been back in the air. Alright, that's set. 1500 out of here, looking good. Heading. Everything looking good there. Seeing if it pops up in here. Okay, I think it's 19. Helen says driving and listening. No matches found. Well, that's weird. Is it just this one like this? Nope. We'll activate Phoenix Regional until we get back closer to where we're going. All right. Let's go ahead and get ready to taxi out of here. This is why I'm not pilot. This is why I'm not pilot. Alright, lap set. Once again, thank you for flying Sim Famous Air. We'll get you back to the Stellar Airpark here shortly, once we find out where it is again. But we know which way we gotta go, so that's half the battle. $2,000 an hour to charter this jet. We're already an hour or so. That's first $2,000 gone, man. First $2,000 gone. All right, flaps are set. Trim is set. We have been cleared for a departure. Helen says going to Home Depot. I hope it goes quick for you, honey bunny. And that way you can come home and I will make some dinner for you and cake. Alright, no inbound traffic, outbound traffic, everything looks A-okay. Alright, next stop, Stellar Airpark, if we can find it again. Let's get our landing lights and everything on. Boom. Full power. Let's get out of here. Knots. Rotate. Positive rate, gear up. Gear is up and good. Autopilot is on. Helen says it's hot. I know, right? Too hot. Line power. It wasn't too bad of a turnaround there. Couldn't find the airport. That's alright, you know. But we just left wrong. But hey, you know. We're new. We're new. He said we're new. Now let's see. Double check everything, looking good speed wise, looking good, no traffic. Fabulous. Maybe it's, let me try this. Oh. Try this, maybe. Let's try this. Is this it? No, that's not it at all. Yeah, we'll select Casa Grande for now, because that's closer. I don't know why am I not able to find this airport code? I would left from it. Did they sell it? It's in Chandler. It just says KP19. I mean, why are you not finding this guy? KP. I think it's 19. But that can't be. That doesn't seem right at all. Yeah, that's definitely not right. Mike says, not right. Yeah, I agree. I mean, the code is KP and then the number's 19. Like, I don't understand. So if I put P19, does nothing. Oh, there it is. Just that easy. Okay. Can you believe that? Made it all difficult for nothing. Well, welcome to 10,000 feet. We made it back up here. Almost. We're almost at 10,000 feet. We'll go ahead and get our lights off since we're going to be at cruising altitude here very shortly. We found the airport. Haha, we'll get you on the ground there in about less than 30 minutes. Found it. Man. That made it more difficult than it should be. All I do is press enter. That's different than every other time I've done it, I think. I could be wrong, though. Alright, let's see if we can find out aircraft systems. At 68 degrees in the plane. Let's go ahead and warm it up a little bit. See if we can get it about 70. Go ahead and go back to the map. Shout out to the beautiful wifey heading into Home Depot. Hopefully her night goes quick so she can get home and I make her some dinner. Alright, we got it figured out now. We good. We locked in now. Got the VIP passenger. Cruising at 10,000 feet. Enjoying our day, chatting with chat. Heck yeah, man. Alright, let's pop open a fresh. We have a signature select seltzer water mixed berry, calorie free, sodium free, and sweetener free. We got the armrest down, we got the plane flying, autopilot set, cruise thrust set, lights off. Boom. We are 1 hour and 25 minutes into our 4-hour gig tonight of flying. In a minute, I may have to feed the dogs if my son doesn't, if he doesn't feed them. But you may hear dogs barking here shortly. It is about their feeding time. $2,000 an hour to run this plane, to charter it. That means they're going to make $8,000 in role play money today. Then we got to take out fuel costs. I'm going to figure it up tonight. If we made $8,000 for 4 hours of work with the plane, and then I'm going to figure out the fuel costs. Because it was full, and we still have 223 gallons right now. We'll see how much fuel we go through. I'll see what the current rate of fuel is. Put that on to fill it back up, plus a surcharge. So if there's, you know, like delays, like a while ago, it was a little delayed getting out of there. Maybe about 5-10 minutes, not much though. Might be able to cut a discount, something like that, you know. Feels like the flight back is going quicker than the flight down. Helen says almost there. Almost, honey bunny. I'll make you a good dinner and some cake tonight, with no icing. Dogs are barking. Woof woof. Makes for a pretty quick trip down to Rocky Point back, you know. Got us a nice little job here flying the VisionJet out of the Stellar Airpark down to Rocky Point. Pretty cool that we can bring a passenger back too. Add a little more realism. Kevin says, hey, are wondering. What you wondering? Oh, where's the food for snacks? We don't have any right now. We just got waters. It's you know, if you want into the snacks, that's when it gets into about $3,000 an hour if you want snacks. Right now we provide a sparkling water and a whole lot of hope. I said a whole lot of hope. Hope that we get there. If you're hungry, here in the back of the plane, you'll find a little cubby hole of snacks. Feel free to reach yourself in and grab what you want. Helen says, be right back. Sounds good. About 15 minutes out or so. high day here in Arizona. Screens there so I can see a little better. The sun's shining on them. Just joined the stream. I'm Sim Famous. We left out of Rocky Point, Mexico just a little while ago on our return trip back to beautiful Stellar Airpark. At the Bushwick says, hey, that's where they filmed Tremors. Nice. I remember seeing that movie back in the day. They get on the rocks and they hide from the things, man. That was some cool stuff. Did they make like Tremors 1, 2, and 3 or something like that? Like Tremors Aftershock or something? I forget. What was it? They made more than one, right? Or am I remembering wrong? OSG Gaming says, I'm not sure if you remember me, but I upgraded since I last commented on your live. I got a brand new laptop with a 5060, 32 gigs of RAM, and a new Logitech G29 wheel. Nice. Tell us, how are you enjoying that setup? What are you thinking of the 5060? Super glad to hear that you got upgraded. Man, that's good stuff right there. Man, that's a good feeling too when you upgrade. Heck yeah. That makes it really, really fun. Once again, I appreciate anybody who watches and hits the old comments as well. Appreciate it very much. OSG Gaming says, I also got a new Thrustmaster flight stick. Coming tomorrow, a Razer Black Shark V2 Hyperspeed. Ooh, man. It's like Christmas in March. That's awesome. I'm glad. Super awesome. A new gear day is always awesome. You know what I mean? OSG says, I'm loving the 5060. I had a 1650 in my old laptop, 8 gigs of RAM, so it's a huge upgrade. Yeah, same with me. I had the 1650 and the 8 gigs of RAM, and when I got 16 gigs of RAM in that 1650, I thought, oh man, that was a big difference. I've got a I got the 40 I got the 4050 in mine, and I've got 64 gigs of RAM in this particular laptop. I do need a second laptop to stream from, though. Alright, we're about 10 minutes out, so we got to get ready to get on the ground here. And then get ready for our return flight back to Rocky Point. I'm thinking we should definitely have a quicker turnaround on this time around, unless something goes wrong. OSG says, LL, I did the exact same thing not long ago before I was gifted the laptop. Well, the laptop came from my dad because he's a big gamer and hated seeing my setup. The wheel came from my mom, and everything else was bought though. Nice. Very cool. Shout out to the legendary dads giving out the PCs. OSG Gaming says, yep. Alright, we got to prepare for landing into Jet-Steller Airpark here. We have started making our descent down into beautiful Arizona. Go ahead and pull our speed back. Bushwhack says, I keep right-clicking my mouse and moving it, think I'm going to be able to move around. I've done that before, too, when I was watching V1 Simulation and Captain Canada. I do the same thing. I'm like, oh, I'm going to look. I'm like, I just want to look around. Wouldn't that be cool if they had an option to where people viewing on YouTube somehow, like, they could make it to where you could pan around while I'm in my game, but it doesn't affect me seeing it, like a I can't figure what I would call it. Mike says, okay, have to go. Enjoy the stream. Take care, y'all. Hey, see you, Mike. We're going to get on the ground and get ready to head back to old Rocky Point here shortly. But yeah, it would be cool. You know, like those 360 cameras you can do? It'd be cool if you could do that in a live stream. You know, how cool would that be, right? OSG said, yeah, they had the 360 cameras, which is a game changer, but wouldn't add it for gaming. Yeah, it'd be cool if we could. So awesome. Bush says, Mike took the parachute before landing. There is an option, you know. There's an option. We have that available here on board. Would you like to fly the whole way to the airport, or would you like to be let out early? You know, if you bring your own parachute, it's up to you. Yeah, you bring your own parachute, it's up to you. And we're pretending that not only are we working out of Steller Airpark, we also live at this Airpark as well. We're pretending that we're running a business out of it. OSG says, here's my stop. Here's your sign. I tell you what though, the simulator is looking pretty fantastic. OSG Gaming says, be right back. Hey, no problem. Let's go ahead and pull our speed back more. Helen says, I'm back. Hey, welcome back. The beautiful wifey says, it's hot. Oh yeah, I know. It's probably at least 100 degrees as we're headed back into the Steller Airpark here. Helen says 100 for the temp. Ooh. Man, that's hot. Man, oh man. Good. Pull the speed back. Autopilot coming off. Landing gear. Full flaps. Take the old scenic route in, over the old neighborhood. You know, say hi to all the neighbors. He said say hi to all the neighbors. Figured we just buzz over their houses there real quick, say hi to the old neighbors. That's where we used to live, you know. We didn't used to really live there. We're just pretending, you know, to have a little fun in the game on the way in, man. All right. Prepare for landing. We're going to be on the ground here shortly. Now, if I was a runway, where would I be? If I was a runway, where would I be? We're still about 10 miles out. We're just taking a low scenic route, just checking out some views. Staying under the radar a little bit because we don't necessarily have a pilot's license. Just cruising nice and slow, taking it easy. Just flying under the radar. Airport in sight. This is probably why I shouldn't be a pilot, man. We shouldn't have been down here this early. I was a little too early to get set up for landing. He said it's a little too early. Looking good. Helen says LOL. And sometimes you gotta take the scenic route, you know? Good.
500.
Well, the trees and the buildings and things are looking better as we're checking out the stuff that's going on in the beta, I have to say, like at lower level flying. So far, that's pretty nice. Seems pretty smooth. Ellen says, Sim, got to go. I know, honey bunny. We all love you, and woof woof. Ellen says, later. We'll see you later, honey. Take it to the outside. Not bad. The plane thinks I'm landing. I'm just kind of looking around for a little bit. Just seeing how the beta does, you know? Some stutters and things as we fly low, and then of course I'm looking around to my left and to my right. Alright, we're going to head around for our final turn and head into Jet-Steller Airpark, which is right over here to our left. Landy.
Sink raise. Sink raise.
Great.
Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up.
Nah, we're good.
Pull up. Pull up.
All right, welcome down to the Jet-Steller Airpark. Laps coming up. Thanks for taking the extended ride there so we could check out just how the graphics were doing. Alright, let's get this person dropped off. Pretty scenic flight in. I enjoyed that. I wanted to see how the graphics and things would do just flying low all the way in. Alright. Go ahead and turn around right here. This is where we drop off. That's where we return to. And brakes looking good. Set the brakes. We'll go ahead and get off. We'll leave the strobe lights on. We'll go ahead and shut the engine down. Ellen says, look at the yellow flowers. I know there are a lot, right? Thanks for flying Sim Famous Air, and thanks for hanging out and doing that long flight down with us so we can check out the graphics. Let's go ahead and get you unloaded here. We gotta pick up a couple more passengers and head back down to Old Rocky Point. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and pull up the computer here. And the payload and fuel. Seats. That is 0 now. We'll do this. Fuel. Take a little more. Load immediately. Boom. Alright, got some more people loaded up. Alright. Thanks for flying Sim Famous Air, appreciate you. Get you over to Rocky Point here shortly. Light off. Light off good. let's go ahead and get this set up here. And we'll get our altitude set. Activate that. That's set. Let's set our altitude. Going up to 10,000 feet today yet. Put the trip back down. Set heading. Get our heading set. All right, heading is set. We're ready to go. Heck yeah. Let's grab our drink. Smoke them if you got them. Clear the caution. Adjust our pitch trim. That's good. Light set. Let's get out of here. Let's head back to Rocket Point. Just joined the stream. I'm Sam Famous, and we're headed back to Rocket Point. Just loaded up a couple passengers. I'm ready to head back. About 2 hours into our 4-hour gig. That Vision Jet life. Go to the outside. Currently 4:48 here in real life. That's what time it is in the simulator. It's about, once we get up there, it's about a 30-minute flight, just a little over 30-minute flight down to Rocky Point, maybe a little less. Pretty quick. See if we can make up a little time, you know. Four-hour shift. Vision jet life. Alright, we'll hold short here 1 second just to make sure there's no incoming traffic, because never can be too safe. See nothing there. Nothing out that way. Alright, I believe we're all clear. We have 2 passengers on board with us. Headed down to Rocky Point. Double check. No traffic. No traffic. We are clear for takeoff. Let's get out on the runway. Brakes. AZ602 preparing departure from Stellar Airpark, destination Rocky Point. Let's power up and get out of here. What do you say? Set our flaps. Flaps are set. Turn our ice light on so it doesn't yell at us. Clear the warning. Let's go to Rocky Point. Deposit rate gear up. Woo, that was a close one. That was a close one. Now we know why I'm not a pilot. Let's get out of here. Autopilot, coming on. Next stop, beautiful Rocky Point. Headed back to Rocky Point. Climb thrust set. Ooh, look at us climb out of here. That's what I'm talking about. OSG Gaming says I'm back. Nice. Let's go to the outside, check out this climb out of here. Man. Leaving the Stellar Airpark, headed down to Rocky Point. There's Stellar Airport off to our left. That's where we just took off from. Back to the inside we go. Headed back up to 10,000 feet. Kick back. Enjoy the flight over. Headed over to Rocky Point. Putting the Vision Jet to work today. Got a 4-hour shift. Approaching 5 p.m. So far it's been fun flying the old Vision Jet back and forth. On the way back in, we won't do all the scenic low level flying. We'll just go straight into the airport. That's one thing I like about beta testing is sort of just checking things out. It's kind of crazy how fast you can sort of role play a turnaround once you get landed, drop people off, add people back in. All right, 1,000 feet to level off. Very cool. Alright, there's 10,000 feet. Crank all the lights. Dim those back. We are on the way back to Mexico, ladies and gentlemen. Just like that. Little turnaround flights. Round trips in the VisionJet. Charter service. Rawhide. God, I don't know. I'm stupid. Doing that charter service, man. $2,000 an hour. We already made $4,000. Doing good, man. This airplane business. It's hot. Big money. Direct flights to Rocket Point. Awesome views. Love it. Chill in the passenger view. About 20 minutes out. Nice peaceful flight. Love this flight stuff too. much further to the old Rocky Point. Just over the hill. About 15 minutes out. Just about there. Take back a bunch of, we're gonna pretend it's lost luggage or something we take back to this spot and somebody else picks up. the outside is. We'll take a look. Yeah, a little bit. Just about 10 minutes out. Have you down at the Rocky Point. hit it in. Looks like we got about less than 3-4 minutes, so happy on the ground. Once we get landed, this will be where we'll be ending the live stream. We're going to go hang out with the dogs for a little bit. We're going to end this 4-hour flight in the 3-hour flight. I saw my little dog Max peeking around, his head around the corner. I was like, all right, we'll go hang out. Let me land the plane. Pretend that the cargo got canceled. All right, autopilot coming off. My airplane now. Appreciate you flying Miss Air. Back. Flaps on set. Gear coming down. Landing gear, $3,000. Landing gear, $3,000. Stupid. Full flaps. Speed looking good. More power. Easy, looking good. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome down to the final flight to Docking Point tonight. Appreciate you hanging out from this 4-hour gig to a 3-hour gig. It was a blast. Just like that, we're here. Flaps up. Roll off here, high speed roll off, looking good. Pull it down, pull it down. Clear to the building. Pull the speed back, pull the speed back, pull the speed back. Looking good. Thank you for flying Jet Famous Air. We'll see you on the next one. Do 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 do. Let these people out. I let you out. See.